This is the ALsensei English Podcast. Activate. Motivate. Accelerate.
Take the beat to the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the English 2.0 podcast. My name is Al and I'm so happy you are with me today. Today we're going to talk about how to maximize your English lessons. So please stay tuned for that one. But first of all, just one quick announcement. Closing in on about 6,000 total downloads for the podcast. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who have watched. And for those who are new viewers of the podcast, thank you so much for watching today. And you can access the others through my website, ALsensei.com, or, of course, through iTunes. Just search for English 2.0. All right, so maybe you can hear the cicadas behind me, so you know it is summer, it is August. And I just love this time of the year. I love warm weather, as you may know. So let's get to it. Let's start with a question from Twitter. All right, so the first question today comes from a Twitter follower, Crookshanks0425. And they want to know, how should I say cash card in English? Okay, so the katakana word cash card. So is it, for example, ATM card or is it money card? How should we say that in English? All right, good question. Well, actually, this is one case where the katakana is accurate. So in English, we would say cash card. It is okay. Of course, you could also say ATM card. No problem with that. Some people might call it a bank card. Some people may have a debit card. Now, a debit card might be a bit different than a cash card. Debit card means you can use it to buy things, and the charge comes out of your bank account directly. So those are some different types of cards. Of course, you know, there's a credit card, which is much different. But in terms of a ATM card, card you can use in the ATM, yeah, ATM card, cash card, or bank card would be the most common terms in English. However, we would not say money card. So thank you for the question. Very good question. But just because it works in this case, I still don't want you to use katakana as a tool for learning English. But in this case, it is the accurate term. Alright, for today's main topic, we're going to talk about how to maximize your English lessons. And I'll talk about 3 ways you can do that. So whether you're taking group lessons or private lessons, I have 3 tips that can help you get more from those lessons. Alright, let's start. Number 1 is clarify your goal or your purpose. Okay? So ask yourself, why are you taking these English lessons? Now, it may seem like a very simple question, but it's good to, think about it again, or review that goal, just so you have it very clear in your mind. So, for example, maybe your purpose is I'm studying English or taking these lessons for work. Okay, that's great. So once you have that, then maybe go to the next level and think about, how do I need English? So do I need to make telephone calls in English, or do I need to, welcome a visitor and show them around Tokyo, perhaps go out for dinner with them? Or do I need to give sales presentations in English? So really think about specifically what you need. Whatever the case may be, clarify your goal, and that'll help direct your English learning as you move on and help you get more from your class. Alright, the second tip is ask your teacher for specific feedback. Alright, so hopefully you are getting some feedback now from your teacher. You should be. But now take it to the next level by asking for very specific feedback. Okay, so again, in line with your goal, what are you trying to accomplish in your lessons? Okay, for example, maybe we'll use a telephone example. Maybe you need telephone skills for your job. So you can ask your teacher for feedback on your telephone phrases, or perhaps your listening skills, or your pronunciation. Okay? So really pinpoint exactly what you want feedback on. Okay, so those are just a couple of examples. Other examples may be, maybe you want feedback on your intonation, or perhaps your body language and how you are expressing what you want to say. Of course, I think most people just want feedback on grammar, or if they want to have more natural English. Okay, so those are things to think about. Now, please do not say everything. Okay, give me feedback on everything. The reason why you shouldn't ask for feedback on everything is because then your teacher will feel like there's no direction, and they will be less motivated to give you feedback for anything because there's no specific point. Okay? If you ask for very specific feedback, they'll be more likely and they'll be more attentive to your specific points. So definitely think about what's important to you and ask for feedback on those specific points. Alright, the third tip on how to maximize your English lessons is ask about your teacher's expressions. Okay? But what does that mean? So in your lesson, whether it's a group lesson or a private lesson, if you hear your teacher using a phrase that's maybe unusual to you, or perhaps you didn't understand one of the words that they used, stop, ask them, and ask them, of course, the meaning of that, but also ask them why did they use that. Okay, so why did they choose to use that expression, and is it a common expression? And then think about how you can use it in your situations, in your language. Okay? I notice that when I do private lessons, especially, or group lessons, the most effective and productive students will always stop me and ask me, "Oh, Al, what did you say there exactly?" Okay, or why did you use that expression there? For example, my students will often ask me a question like, "Oh, Al, I usually say when I was a university student, but you said when I was in college. Why did you say when I was in college and not when I was a university student?" So questions like that, you really have to listen closely to your teacher. But those kind of things, I noticed that my best students will always ask me those types of questions. So don't be afraid. Ask your teacher about his or her expressions. So those are the 3 tips to maximize your English lessons. Number 1, clarify your goal or purpose. Number 2, ask for specific feedback from your teacher. And number 3, ask about your teacher's expressions. Alright, so follow those 3 tips and I promise you will get more out of your English lessons. Good luck. Alright, in today's pronunciation point we're going to talk about 2 words, ugly and agree. Okay, so often 2 words that sound quite similar but actually to native listeners, native speakers, quite different. So let's talk about it one more time. So first of all is ugly. Okay, so in other words, not attractive or busaiku. The other word is agree. Okay, so I share the same opinion as you. Okay, perhaps sensei. Okay, so agree. So what's the difference in pronunciation in these 2 words? Okay, so let's start with the first vowel sound, the and actually even though we see U in ugly and we see A in agree, It's actually the same sound. It's that sound that we practiced before. Okay, so ugly, agree. So that's the same, no difference there. Now, of course, the difference in these words happens in the second part of the word. Okay? And of course, we have the main L and R difference. Okay, so L and R. So again, the main difference between L and R is the tongue. Okay? Basically with L, we want to use the tongue. We want to activate that tongue 100%. Li, okay? Ugly. Okay? Ugly. La la la. Ugly. Okay? Now with the R sound, we want to get rid of the tongue. Use it 0%. Agree. Okay? So the sides of the mouth will be active. Agree. Okay? So just that L and R. All right. Now the other point is the stress of the word. Okay? So for ugly, okay, we will put the stress on the first syllable. Okay? Ugly. Ugly. Okay, can you hear that? Ugly. Okay? Now for agree, we'll put the stress on the second syllable. Okay? Agree. Agree. Okay, so it should sound quite different to you. I hope you can catch that. All right, now let's make some sentences. We need to be polite, of course, when we use ugly because it can be a little bit offensive sometimes. So just for practice. Wow, his shirt is quite ugly. Wow, his shirt is quite ugly. All right, let's try another one. Yes, I think you're right. I agree. Yes, I think you're right. I agree. Okay, so those are the basic two differences that you need to focus on for ugly and agree. All right. Now, if you need more help with the L and R, please check out my free video that clearly explains in more depth how to master L and R. You can watch that video. It's 6 minutes, and I promise you by the end of that video you will have mastered how to make L and R very clearly. Okay, so check that out. You can download it from my site. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you, so let me know your progress. And if you have any questions, as usual, just let me know. So keep working on ugly and agree. Alright, we have reached the end of the show today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful for you. And I just want to remind you, if you're wondering about the question, why aren't Japanese people good at English? Please see my blog at my website, ALsensei.com, and I can help you with my point of view on that question. And again, a lot of students ask me this question, so I just thought I should answer it on my blog, so check it out there. Also, please check out the pronunciation video, how to pronounce L and R very clearly. In fact, how to master that sound, both of those sounds. And you can get those also via download from my website, ALsensei.com. Check those out, and I hope to see you there. So that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.